what's good, H-Town? It's me, Mo, with the Houston Dynamo, and while I'm usually behind the camera, for this new series, I'm stepping out front, kicking it with some of the players to give you an insight as to what they're like off of the pitch. In this new series, we'll do that in 3 segments. The first segment is called The First Kick. That's when we do a deep dive into something that the player is passionate about, something that really drives them. Second, we've got Socially Awkward. That's where we'll pick 3 pieces from their social media that really made us raise an eyebrow or ask a question or just want to know more. And last but not least, in this unprecedented time, we've got to know what's helping you get through all of this, or what are your quarantine essentials. So without further ado, let's kick it with Michael Salazar. Mike, how's it going? Nice to have you on here on Kickin It.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
Sure, dude. Our first segment, we dive into one of your passions, and we know that you're super passionate about your background, how you grew up. You do a 5-on-5 tournament out in Belize. Tell us a little bit about that, how it came to be, what's the background on it, and all that.
All right, well, not many people know that I'm from New York. The city that never sleeps. But my parents took me back to Belize, when I was months old. So at that time, I know nothing about New York up to this day. In Belize, it's not the biggest country in the world. It's a third world country and it's very small. It's a tough upbringing. Soccer related for me. When I was growing up there, that's all I did every single day. As soon as school is finished, I'm going straight to the park. I don't care who is there, how many people are there, what age you are. That's where I'm gonna be if you wanted to find me. Especially being that my family, all my mom's sisters, they all had kids at the same time, so we're all the same age. And for me that was really cool because I was never bored. As soon as I always have somebody that I can relate to, and we played all sports, so whether that was basketball, volleyball, but soccer was the main thing for us. And we'd play little 5-a-side, little groups, their 5 versus our 5, and we would always try to pick the best team amongst each other, but we would compete all the time, and I feel like that was really cool.
Were you the one that everybody fought for to be on their team?
Well, I was the youngest one, and I think I was pretty good at the time. So everybody would always want me to be in their team, and I feel like I was always big. I feel like even then I was about this size already in my head. So yeah. So
you took your upbringing, your background, and after you made it to the MLS, after you're professional, you decided to kind of give a little bit back, or what's the story with that?
Yeah. Well, now that I've been in the league for 5 years, I feel like every time I go back, right before I come back, before my preseason start, I do this tournament. Where I'll bring my own team and I challenge 19 other teams that join this little tournament, and we all compete and see who can take my team down. And the reason I do that is because that's how I was raised. When I was growing up, we had this competition always amongst ourselves, and I feel like that was just something I wanted to give back to the guys that I grew up with, whether they were my age, younger. They can all play in this tournament, and they just compete against each other. There's some kids out there that they show up and they don't even have shoes to play in. They're playing barefooted. So it just kind of show you the perspective of how I grew up. When I was growing up, I didn't have all the gears in the world. I used to play barefooted. I used to, mess my feet up. My toes were off. My toenails were coming off, but I still would play through that because I loved the game. And I feel like those kids are showing me the same pattern of how I grew up. And I just wanted to bring that back to them, and whether I can give them some shoes or some of my jerseys just to show my appreciation for them coming out and just enjoying the game.
Man, that's awesome. All right, so that's a really good look back, and obviously your family, Belize, giving back to your upbringing and the people that helped you get to where you are now, and the kids that are in the same position that you were when you were growing up. Obviously, that's something you're super passionate about, and we love that. This is a good segue. You put a lot of that on your Instagram. Our second segment here is called Socially Awkward, and that's whenever we take a deep dive into your social media. And you're one of the lucky ones, I feel like, because you just post cool stuff. You're mad chilling, or Belize is beautiful, or it's about your soccer career. You don't post anything too embarrassing. Because even your Twitter, man, it's all just live tweeting games and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big Laker fan, so
I did find that out. I did
all I
find
do is
out about
Lake
it.
Show, LeBron, Lake Show.
I did find some posts I want to know a little bit more about. And number one, it's you and Kaka. What you got on that, man? Do you remember that game? Do you remember looking forward to that game?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I feel like him being a World Player of the Year. I mean, that's every player's dream, and him just right at the moment before Ronaldo and Messi just took off, he was that guy. And I feel like it's just a surreal moment, like it was a dream come true for me, just being a little kid from Belize, coming from a third world country where nobody thinks that, there's hope to get out of there and, make it big, or just being on that platform. And I feel like being the first player or from Belize to play in Major League Soccer is huge. And just being able to share the same feel as a player that's won almost everything that you can think of. So I feel like that was one of the biggest moments of my career, because he makes the game look so easy. Just playing with those guys on the field, just watching them go through people, scoring goals, and you're seeing the same picture of those guys. You'd be like, why can't I do the same thing? But you see the amount of work those guys put in, what it took for them to get there, and you just, those guys are examples to the rest of the players that are coming next. And he has it all together, man. The guy, his little kid, he looks just like him too. I mean, it's like it's just crazy. But just sharing the picture with those guys is huge, and I feel like it's a blessing to be a part of something like that.
We're gonna keep with that theme of legends and just incredible talent, but this one's a little different because you guys have matching hair.
Yeah.
You and Marcelo, man. Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, we look so much alike, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I think that's my lost brother that, I don't know what happened. But, my sister loves Real Madrid. Huge Marcelo and Cristiano Ronaldo fan. And her seeing me taking a picture with him was like a dream come true for her. And also for myself, even more so. But for her, it was so huge.
You're older or younger?
She's younger. She's my younger sister. Yeah.
Okay, so you probably love being able to rub that in her face, huh?
For sure. All the time. She's like, if they come over here for preseason or something, she's like, I want to come. So you better bring me here. And I'm like, of course. But meeting him, I mean, I was coming from home where I lived in Montreal, and I can ride my bike to the training facility, so I just rode my bike, parked it in the locker room. I got to go to the gym to get to my my locker where all my stuff is. And before I enter, I saw him working out in the gym, and I'm just like, I mean, I knew Real Madrid was going to be here, but I didn't think we were going to get to see them like that or anything up close. And Marcelo's working out in the gym, and I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense right now. Like, this just can't be true. Like, that was for me another one of the biggest moments of my life. It just keeps getting better, Like, I see Kaká, now I see Marcelo, and I'm just like, one of my favorite teams out here. I see him. He calls me to the side. He's like, hermano, come, let's take a picture. And he brings the Real Madrid media in, and we take a picture. He's like, yeah, this is my cousin. And I'm just like, yeah, they asked me what my name was. And that was another big moment in my life. So it was really cool to see those guys. Zidane was there, and it was just surreal. They're just walking like normal people.
Honestly, that's the point of this show right here, to show our Dynamo fans that, that you guys on the Dynamo are just normal people. This last post that I wanted some insight on, just because I know it's it's got to be one of your favorite moments of all time, your entire life, no matter what, not even just your career, but you know what I'm talking about. You're talking about your first goal. And
for sure.
Do you remember who was assisted by?
The king himself. Yeah.
That's right. I
got a story that I don't even want this to be out there, but I'm gonna share it because I think it deserves to be out there. I came off the bench for this game, and it was my first time playing against Toronto. My first Canadian Championship game. It was my second career game outside of the MLS. And I go into the game. He's playing up top. I think the coach gave me instructions to go play on the right-hand side. He tells me, no, you go up top. I go on the right. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know if I'm supposed to listen to him or the coach at the time, because he's this big player, and it's only my second professional game almost. And he's like, go up top. He's like, if you have to score, you have to score. If you don't score, like, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna work hard and do what I have to do. He gets the ball on the right hand side, puts it on his chest, whips it in the box. I think it was like my second touch in the game. I put my head on it behind the net. I mean, for me, not one of the biggest moment of my career. Watching this guy play in the biggest league in the world, scoring big Champions League goals, scoring week in, week out. I think I watch him almost every week. I wasn't a big Chelsea fan. I'm a United fan in the England side. So, but I still watched him play because I feel like I was a big guy. I kind of like resemble a little bit of his game, and I looked up to those type of strikers. And for him to assist my first career goal, man, was the biggest moment. Surreal. I mean, I can't even explain. Like, it's just one of the biggest moments of my life, and I feel like I'm gonna cherish that forever.
Man, that's
Yeah, for sure, man. And
that's amazing, dude.
his
That's a
personality
cool
on the
story.
field is very demanding. He expects a lot from you, and I feel like that's what a true leader is. Like, when you step on the field and the guy that's gonna deliver for you is expecting you to do well, and you go out there and you execute and you do it. It's like a great feeling just to show, like, look, I got your back. Just as well as I know when you get it, you're gonna do what you're supposed to do. And off the field, he's just such a nice guy, and he's very caring. He's always willing to help and talk to you, and he brings you over to his house. He does barbecues and stuff, and he's just a normal guy, but he's very demanding, and I can see why he has done all these things in his career. So, and I'm very appreciative for the moment that I got to share the picture with him, for sure.
Man, that's awesome. Yo, shout out Drogba for sure.
Yep, yep.
That's amazing. That's such a cool story, dude. Thanks for sharing that. That's amazing. Awesome. Cool. So that's our little look into your past right there, and now we're gonna skip ahead and we want to focus on the present. And we're in an unprecedented time right now, and everybody's going through this. Everybody around the world is going through this. It's insane to think about, but the most crucial thing is getting through it. And I know the people want to know, what are 3 things that are helping Michael Salazar get through social distancing and quarantining right now?
All right, well, first, I'm rotating through every single video game you can possibly think of. FIFA, 2K, Madden, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto. I play these games almost every single day, all day since this has started. I've been working out the best that I possibly can. I got my own little gym stuff set up. I got my bike. I got little 40-pound weights. I got my foam rollers. I got my balancing pad. So I try to do that every day as much as I can. And I sing a little bit, but I'm not the very best singer in the world. I mean, I'm a karaoke singer, if you want to put it that way. I can put the background music and I'll sing a little bit. So that's about it. And the songs I be singing, you wouldn't even believe, because I'll be singing like some old school, like Usher. I probably believe it. I'll be singing some Justin Bieber. Let that sink in for a little bit.
Hey, don't even get me started on Usher, man. Don't get. That's one of my favorites of all time, bro.
I listen to some Drake and some other stuff for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But when I'm just relaxing, I'll be listening to some Usher and just old school music.
Well, there you go. Video games, working out, and some singing. That's what's getting you through this. That's beautiful. There's the first episode of Kickin' It with Michael Salazar. Man, I really appreciate you. Putting some time aside and doing this, letting the Dynamo fans get to know just a little bit more about you and what makes you go, and about the past, and was getting you through all of this. And I know for sure that after hearing all this, you're a guy who appreciates where you came from and is humble and takes advantage of the opportunities given it to him, whether it's going to get your stuff and seeing Marcelo, or go ahead and listen to some leadership on the pitch and getting that first goal from a legend. Whatever it is, you take advantage of that. And I know you've had a little bit of a road from recovery, but I think you can take advantage of this opportunity with Tab, and it's going to be a good one for you.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for having me. For all the people out there, just be safe. Enjoy your time with your loved ones. At the same time, take advantage of that. Whenever you guys go out, Make sure when you come back, you wash your hands, 20 seconds or more. Keep your hand sanitizer in there. Wear your mask at all times. And yeah, just be safe, guys. We're all in this together, and we'll get through this together.
Awesome, man. Awesome words. Awesome guy. This is going to be a good season once we get going again. Until then, take Michael's advice. Stay clean. Much love, Michael. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me. Can't wait to be back, guys. Let's go.